The laugh came first. Soft, dismissive, familiar. You're too boring to notice. She thought I was asleep when she said it. I wasn't. The hotel suite smelled like expensive perfume and political ambition. I stood outside the adjoining door, hand resting on cold brass, listening to my wife's voice float through the crack. $2.3 million. She said it like a bedtime story. I handled the transfers, she whispered. He'll never understand. He barely understands crypto. A pause, a man's low chuckle, a senator's voice. My heart didn't race, it slowed. That was the moment I understood something simple and irreversible. I wasn't boring, I was underestimated. And underestimation is a gift. I stepped back from the door and adjusted my cufflinks. My reflection in the mirror looked calm, almost dull, the kind of man people overlook in rooms full of predators. She always liked predators. What she forgot, I study them. The money trail began 6 months earlier. I noticed the shift before I noticed the numbers. New dresses, subtle tension, longer charity meetings, a different perfume she only wore on Thursdays. Thursdays were committee nights. I don't ask questions I'm not ready to hear answers to, but I watch. The first red flag wasn't emotional. It was mathematical. $2.3 million doesn't vanish. It relocates. Shell companies. Foreign accounts. Political donations that looped back like a snake biting its own tail. And there it was. A quiet partnership between my wife and a state senator, known for reform speeches and private appetites. She wasn't just sleeping with him. She was laundering for him. The betrayal wasn't physical. It was strategic. She used my consulting firm's infrastructure, my encrypted servers, my contacts, my reputation for discretion to move his money offshore, all while smiling across the dinner table, all while calling me predictable. The night she mocked me, she thought I'd never check the logs. She forgot who built the system. Denial is a warm place. I let her stay there. I didn't confront her. I made her coffee, kissed her cheek, asked about her day. Then I began to dismantle her world quietly. I mirrored her phone to a secure drive. Not to read her love messages. I already knew those existed, but to trace timestamps, locations, patterns. Room 1708, the same hotel, every Thursday. Always booked under a political aid's name. I cross-referenced transfers with those nights. The deposits aligned like soldiers. I contacted an old colleague, Federal Compliance Division. Anonymous tip structure. Financial irregularities tied to public office. No accusations. Just evidence. Let the system do what it does best. Meanwhile, at home, she called my daughter-in-law to complain about me. If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes. My daughter-in-law shouted over speaker one afternoon. She thought I couldn't hear. I replied simply, enjoy. The word tasted clean. They thought I needed their table. They didn't know I'd already bought another one. In Switzerland, a villa overlooking Lake Geneva. Paid in full, quiet, legal, transparent. I moved assets gradually. Liquidated shared investments under the guise of market instability. She never noticed. Too boring. Too predictable. Too quiet. That's what predators miss. Silence is not weakness. It's calculation. The evidence package was delivered on a Thursday. Right on schedule. Room 1708. I wasn't inside when it arrived. SWAT was. I watched from the lobby security monitor I had temporary access to, courtesy of a generous donation to the hotel's technology upgrade fund months earlier. The door exploded inward. Chaos doesn't look chaotic from a distance. It looks procedural. She screamed first. He cursed second. They were half-dressed. $2 million worth of arrogance reduced to bare skin and flashing red lights. Fraud, embezzlement, campaign finance violations. He didn't know she'd been skimming on top of their scheme. She didn't know he'd been under investigation for weeks. Neither of them knew who accelerated the timeline. When she called me from the holding room, her voice shook. What did you do? I let the silence stretch. I noticed, I said. She cried then. Not for me. For herself. For the senator who wouldn't protect her. For the lifestyle evaporating in real time. You set me up. No, I replied calmly. You underestimated me. Bail was denied for him. Conditional release for her. Ankle monitor. Public disgrace. She came home 3 days later. The house felt smaller with the tracking device blinking at her ankle. I had already removed my belongings. Only one thing remained on the dining table. A folder. Inside divorce papers. Asset division completed. Accounts separated weeks ago. My Swiss villa deed on top. She flipped through it, hands trembling. You planned this? Yes. Her voice broke into something ugly. After everything I gave you? I almost smiled. You gave me motivation. Her phone began buzzing that evening. Friends, reporters, family, 71 missed calls. She stared at the photos I'd posted, just one image of the villa terrace at sunrise. No caption. She knew what it meant. No dishes to wash, no invitations to beg for, no more control. She reached for me as if proximity could reverse consequence. I stepped back. Was I boring? I asked softly. She couldn't answer. Because boredom never dismantles empires. Precision does. I left before sunrise. No goodbye. The air in Switzerland is thinner, cleaner. From the terrace, the lake looks still enough to trust. I don't think about her laugh anymore. I think about the moment it stopped. Betrayal is intimate. But revenge? Revenge is administrative. Documents filed, calls placed. Silence maintained. She thought excitement lived in risk. She was wrong. Power lives in patience. The villa doors closed behind me with a soft click. No anger. No regret. Just clarity. She called me boring. Now she calls me unreachable. And that's the only answer she'll ever get.